Hello everybody, welcome back to Limbus Company. Today I'm doing Arknights, as I'm sure you can tell. Compared to when I first recorded this, it's been a little bit. I've grinded a lot of the Mirror Dungeon. Let me see. Reward exchange. So yeah, I already got the ego, because I wasn't really thinking. Probably should have saved that, so I could get the animation. But yeah. I have the ego now, so I can go through the event with that at least. Bam! How jolly. Here's the border background, the animated one, for anyone who cares. It actually looks pretty fucking good, so I like it. And then I should be able to show... Shush. Shit, I don't remember how to do this. Alrighty. I couldn't find out how to replay the ego animation, but you know, it's so big. Amazing. Amazing. I didn't know there was remaining vessels of this class in Iberia. I be the name here. 'Tis called the name Rebellion de las Masses. Rebellion of de las Masses. Revolt of the Masses, is it? A name very much mired in peculiarity. Indeed. Hung Lu chimed in that he was rather fond of it, with its size being about the same as a boat from his home, with Ishmael quickly jumping to correct us that its size isn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Buffy. Oh, sorry. Or the Indigo Elder's skiff. It was still pretty big compared to that Indigo Elder skiff. Wasn't that just a fucking buoy? I mean, yeah, I guess it is pretty big compared to that skiff. I thought it was going to be somewhere around Mephi size at most. Are you sure you can get the ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repairs had been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repair efforts only concern a few components of the vessel that the villagers could not repair. This shouldn't take much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. Despite Otis's confident declaration, I could not help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why, but something tells me we don't want to linger here for too long. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience at the Great Lake was enough. Oh yeah. Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of this vessel, buoyancy gear, propellers, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with Mephistopheles. They seem they seem confident enough. Should be safe this time around, right? Are we taking that rope to climb up the ship? No, there's a lift light apparatus down here. Should take us to the ship. Its stability was verified yesterday. Let us board the lift. You're 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think they'd be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Boy, are you two just gonna faff about down there? We're heading up now. No, we're going with you. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge, I was greeted by a... holy shit. An extravagant interior that was as gaudy as its exterior. This is a fucking nice looking ship. Where are we? Also, the Canto 5 music, which is kind of nostalgic. This isn't real cold, is it? Sure is shiny as heck in here. I've got butterflies in my stomach. A.S. Aesthetically satisfying, she says. But too ostentatious. Not quite my style. Our young Mephi is also quite the excellent vessel. Yet, imagine the adventures we could embark on aboard this vessel most lavishly decorated. So, I just thought, what if Buffy's, like, somewhat sentient? I'm gonna get pissed at Don Quixote for saying that. As Faust and Otis were working on one of the control panels, Ishmael walks up to another and interfaced with it before giving a knowing nod. This must have been an investigative or research vessel of sorts, but it just seemed quite extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates. Updating in real time, it seems. The coordinates seem to have been set to somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small island. Islet? Nope, no islet is there. That's probably a word. But blimey, lass. Sure know how to sneak up on people. Mayors? Did I actually scare you? I thought you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I didn't know you'd be. Why are the coordinates set at this location? There are several undersea cities close to those coordinates, collectively known as Iger. Gramps' home. I see. Understood. What was understood, if I may ask? It is now understood why the promise to repair the ship was sufficient to earn their trust in the title of saviors. What's she on about? Someone get translated. Come on, let's... Nah, sorry, I won't hate on Heathcliff too much. Consolidating and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and the statements from the village chief, along with information garnered from the exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance the ship repair has to the local populace. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connections that pose a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend, to employ any degree of effort to attempt to explain it in a more digestible language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency. Lower the baton, I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering if Miss Smartass would start gabbing like that again. So what's she on about? Heathcliff's shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it lightly over his shoulder with a sigh. A brief observation of the village seems to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily sustenance consisted of dried food, most of them made for long-term storage purposes. Considering what Scotty said about the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either? Maybe it's packed seafood they packed when they first came from Faro Mureto. Fuck me. Some villagers were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly formidable, but given the state the village were in, I doubt they'd have an easy time repelling those monsters. Really not at all. I mean, they were pretty weak, but they're like level. I don't want to power scale homeless people to fucking Seaborn. Indeed, that will bring us to a question of sustenance. Right, I get what's going on here. The lass and her granddad are about to visit their hometown, and they're trying to get some food supplies from there to feed the villagers. And to convince them, they're planning to use the fact that they're from the same neck of the woods. Or sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing the ship. We're repairing their food supply plant, too. Huh? What's wrong? It's, Well, the expressions were rather crude. Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point, and easily understood. The sinners stared at him with mild surprise. And I did, too. What's with the annoying looks? Wait, oh, you sods. You think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Hey, top-notch intuition. It's just that. It's been a while since you've shown this side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition has always been excellent, and he'd often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you... Why are we playing realistic knocking in my right ear? You know, when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault for... I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here. Now, with those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? Otis looked away from the usual chaos and asked my ears. Honestly, I'm surprised. He was on point. Yeah, food's been getting the running low in the village. At this rate, we won't last another year. But the Ager, I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others too? Unlike mares or sheep, they're not Ager. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Ager for no other reason than we're from the sea, but our home cannot have fallen so low to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. Prithee, might thou explain to us who the Ager are? I had initially sought to be a reference to a religion, but it also seems to be refer to an affliction of sorts. Maybe there's something like the Nest Dwellers. I don't think I've heard of a nest that accepts backstreets people with open arms. Or maybe they're just some rich folk. If they call them Nest Toffs Ager there, then does that make the rabbit-eared lass an Ager too? Wait, in the world you came from, do they not distinguish between races? Racism isn't real in the city? That is not entirely true. The alien relation between races is a concept. Racism is real. Though I only saw them in the Fathoms, there were those terrifying things called the fucking birds. However, as a general rule, it can be said that the humans are not the only intelligent life form in the city. Oh, humans should be the only intelligent life form in the city. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on their religion. Race, not religion. Like my cactus ears. Cactus ears. Amazing. And I've got pointed ears because I'm an Ager. I'm not characteristics of it. Which Ager... The closest idea to which they are discussing appeareth to be... Malbranch is, I'm just saying. Mersault stepped in. By context clues to which, by the manner of the word usage, including the means of classification, the closest example in our world would be blood fiends. Similar external appearances of humans, different natures. Oh, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Because what? The Maos are just fucking humans, but with ears. But are the Ager really that different? I don't know. Racism. 'Tis of my belief that the blood fiends are ostracized due to their nature that maketh coexistence with humans difficult. It may be that the Agers are also... Oh, we're theorizing. Okay. I'm sure some of them do possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare. And wherefore are they made subjects of suspicion and hatred? That's... Well, the language is new, but the idea seems pretty similar to our city folks like us. Think of feathers of the fallen wings, kids born in the back streets, people who replace their body parts with prosthetics. The form differs, yet in essence we find the thread. Something about how we keep finding these similarities in the ways of our lives, despite finding ourselves in a different world with different rules, races, and humans, felt oddly discomforting. The point is, you guys are doing us a real solid by fixing up the ship. Let's move on from these gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the cooler parts of the ship this way. The ship tour may have to wait. Oh, are we being jumped? Oh, the music stopped, so... The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen. Issue? But wow, that's not reassuring at all. Multiple life forms identified ahead, assumed to be a sea terror horde. The ship's radar system seem to suggest that the vessel is surrounded. They're the same monsters from yesterday. Executive Manager, please prepare us to order for battle. Please order us to prepare for battle. Damn it. Are these sea terrors you encountered? They look different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Amia, please support us in battle like you did yesterday. Canst thou fight, young mares? Let's have the child fight with us. Shit, maybe we'll get you as an NPC. I feel like I'm gonna get in your way. Then, guys, find a place to keep mares as far away from battle as possible. And let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further. Okay. I got a bit of a wacky team going, but I tried running everyone with egos, so I can at least see them whenever I get to it. Do I have all 4 blood fiends? I completely forgot. I do. Okay. Well, thinking about what just happened, shit. I guess we're going to the ocean. We're gonna go, I don't know, drive into the dimensional door with a boat. And we'll be fine, and we'll never fight a boss. Surely. But shit, so far this collab is, well, collab? Yeah, sure. So far the collab's been really fucking good. I mean, I've so far liked it. At least the story missions and all that. Mirror Dungeon ego gifts are kinda bad, but that kind of makes it better, because we're going to be losing them in a month, so. Preferably it's not anything I want to miss, right? This is looking like it's going to be the same fight, so I'm probably just going to, you know, skip ahead a little. Ooh, tails roll. Shit, kind of nice animation from Faust. Nice little blade twirl. And it killed everything. It's like Fluid Sac, but it does more healing, like centralized. It also gives shield, I think? No, it only gives shield to Faust. It makes Faust like a tank character. Which, I don't know if we have any new tank characters. Ooh, you look new. Bassin Sea Reaper. You are doing a counter, so I can just ignore you. At 50%, convert all to unbreakable. So 2 and 4, god. That's convert all to unbreakable, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2. Holy shit. When in standby state, then standby this unit does not. Oh. Until it takes damage, so I just need to ignore you. When this unit takes damage, enter combat ready. After taking damage, yeah. Turn start. Inflict 3 nervous impairment to all enemies. Plus 3 min and max. So you roll 4 guaranteed. Gain offense level up for every 10% missing. While in combat ready state, take damage. Fixed damage equal to 10% of HP. Oh, so you kinda die after a certain amount of time. Cool. Oh hey, look. That's what I just read. When clashing with the target, on hit with an unopposed attack, inflict 2 nervous. If you're on top of that, inflict 1 more. When on top of nervous and brand, gain final power 2, coin power 2, and double the amount inflicted? Holy shit. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna completely ignore that guy. No. Will you kill? Oh my god. You're right. I've never looked at your resistances before. That explains why you guys are so fucking squishy. Hopefully this kills, because that'd be a massive boost to sanity early on. Does not look like it. Oh. To remain oneself.
흐릿한 등화, 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 하늘, 용태라 빈 벼로에 남았구나.
The dragon with the knife? Nice. Why are you... Oh my god, I thought you were using ego again. Do you not use... No, because... it doesn't matter. Do I have any other egos I can pop? No, I could corrode this. No, I can't. Okay. Well, there's that one done. Yippee! God damn, you're tanky. The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everyone okay? It was just like our last skirmish. Sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to the sea before the battle even came to an end. And the retreat felt too ordered and deliberate to just be running away. It's almost like they're making a tactical retreat. We're doing peachy, but what about the ship? Foul, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capabilities. Phew. So, I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong of course, I think I noticed how around the end of the battle, those monsters starting to go after the manager? You're probably right, actually. I noticed it too. At some point during our battle, those monsters realized that it's the manager who's commanding the rest of us. I sensed the very same. Their movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? That ain't much of a question in it. They've all gone mental. I'm sure they have their reasons, but Seaborns are beings of infinite potential. So much so that there's no superlative big enough to properly convey the scale. As organisms, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or a new element, they transform themselves into other Seaborn. Maybe that's their draw. That sounds a lot like she-worshipper talk. That fascination may be an attitude most befitting a researcher. Yet, the transformation of fascination into is, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of the whales. And they can adapt to learn a new language to communicate with us? Well, what? Going by everything we heard, I think they sound really smart. Mare's eyes went round at Hong Lu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth, surprised. It sure was something. I heard that there was a Seaborn who could talk. If non-humans speak the language of humans, regardless of the testament to their intelligence, I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans. The other, to deceive humans. Most often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortions are a phenomenon in which humans transform into monstrous forms. First observed after the White Knights and Dark Days incident. I love Lobotomy Corporation. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Oda's supposition. White Knights and Dark Days. She whispered quietly as if standing rather close to her. We all caught a hint of joy in her voice. That's a bit odd, no? Maybe she's just excited about the name, but... a joy in her voice. The Pillar of Light... Did it really? You been talking to Carmen recently? How the fuck do you... The Pillar of the Light in the city, did it really? How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Mayers? Oh, that's... Ain't it obvious? We've got the culprit right here. The storyteller lass has been gabbing on to no end. Oh, it's... Okay, never mind. Sorry, it was Don Quixote. Yeah, she's talking non-stop all morning about these kinds of stories, hasn't she? Huh? Yet I have not gotten that far. Okay, well, Mayers, nice talk. I think you should go. She has some, like, mind-reading ability. Or, I don't fucking know. The fact that she knows about the Pillar of Light is really odd. You again. You didn't get so lost in your own stories that you blabbed all our company's secrets, did you? Nay, fie, I would have not. As Don Quixote was subject to yet another round of scolding, Amia stared out towards the sea, wary the sea terrors might start crawling to the surface once again before turning towards us. I wonder which of the two the Seaborns are. Their sense of stuff itself is really, really faint, so I don't think they'd be in either category. I think it's possible that they learn the human language out of instinct, that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of Seaborn. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what fear for one's survival may yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by chance, worship the Seaborns? I don't worship Seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hopes or wishes, just a desire for survival. Miss Mayers, does that mean if Seaborns were somehow able to get hope? Maybe so. Is that so? The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. I'm guessing repairs are done? Yes, the ship is ready to set sail. Do we have a departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail this late afternoon or the earliest. That soon? As you've seen, we don't have a lot to bring with us. By the way, how far out to sea do you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I could see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light's strong enough to break through the sea of fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere near the coastal waters. So, we can all go back tonight, right? Alright. The first order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Yeah, back to the village for now. Hey, Jolly. The Inquisitor. There's something going on in the village. Yeah, I hear it too. I'm hearing people shouting and hollering. When we return to the village, ship repairs completed, we are welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. The quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, that was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there? Inquisitor. I think we've been had. The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote. The sword and lamp, hanging from her waist, sits in a stark contrast with the more run-down, ramshackle village. Kinda look like, the one Blood Fiend hunters. I can't remember what they're called. Fang Hunt, maybe. She seemed almost like a fixer from the city. So the Inquisition has discovered our village. Did you really think you could stay forever out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen? That's a naive dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under charges of suspicion of membership within the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates in its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw, what a dramatic evolution of your career. She was so smug when she said that. But it ends here, now. Every citizen here, including you, will be accompanying me to the Inquisition. They have never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind. They are not like me. They've disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evading the gaze of Iberia, and found this sodden coast to lurk in. Tell me I'm not supposed to find that suspicious. What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. Is that so? Then you might find yourself returning to this village one day, as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius. Ayers, was Sheaf really a pirate? Well, yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when he ran with the pirates, all he ever did was share fin beast jerky to villages. Or carry Agerians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayers, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have but one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following proper legal procedures? I don't know much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Cowsit told us that the words of Inquisitors were pretty much the law here. It is likely that she is following the proper legal procedures. The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from, after all. Then it's decided. Otis quietly dragged me to the side and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. The sinners who were right next to me seemed to have picked it up, though. Executive Manager, we best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. What? Are you seriously suggesting we just let him arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seems quite cut and dry to me. It is just standard procedure with no local laws broken. We are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound that, too. We can't do that. Even if it's standard procedure, even if they're working with the law, it's not... You stayed up to hear Mayor's story too, didn't you? You know, the Corporate Inquisitors were working within the law too, when they came to our village. That was standard procedure too. If anyone had stepped in. I know what you went through, but I'd rather not risk an unfamiliar environment like this. I will try my best to figure out how to sail a ship. If I cannot, then I have faith Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. I can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee we'll reach the dimensional door without any trouble. Do you know about the sea currents in this region? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with a ship might be the better option. What should we do, Dante? Yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward for us to just take the ship and go, huh? How about we try talking to the Inquisitor, then? I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, we might be able to get the Inquisitor's support. Like Mr. Honglu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's see what the Inquisitor has to say. RR. Rabbit's right, she says. Are you certain that was an accurate translation? Are you sure that translation... that was accurate, Sinclair? Right? There's no way Ryoshi would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiots. It's because the other options are pointless. Inquisitor's seen us. We're already under suspicion. She will doubtlessly try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack. Pretty sure that's not what Amiya meant. Well, if she's already onto us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. I was wondering what you were doing back there, lurking in the background. A clock-shaped head? Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock for a head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Colombian Union. What's the Colombian Union? TikTok. What? What language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Colombia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're wrong. You're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and an Inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, don't just tell her that. 2 days? Enough with this chicanery. Get out of my way, outsider. The attempt appears to have been made on quite the unstable ground. Please lend us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. I am Amiya, leader of Rhodes Islands. Yes, I am aware that... Okay, so we're just telling her that we've jumped the border. Maybe not the best idea. I felt hope swelling within me as Amiya began with confidence. Unlike Sinclair, alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the Inquisitor's quick retort, I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange. Oh, so now we're not just dealing with outsiders of dubious orange, we have a legal entry as well. We had to, because the issue demanded urgency, and I've been briefed. Brazenly crossed the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent that issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The higher Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and that chatty med doctor of yours talk it out. Do know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills. As for the village chief, I understand you have the right to arrest him, as he is a fugitive who has fled in the middle of an interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it's inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the villagers as well. Inhumane? This decision was well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. They've lived for years right next to that highly suspicious ager. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them to verify whether they've committed acts of treason against our laws. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Ooh, Inquisitor fight? That'd be cool. First human we're actually fighting. Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by this coast without the protection of the Inquisition, and that simply cannot make sense. Boy, I think I've heard enough from you. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for what's essentially a failure of your responsibilities? Now you roll up here only to go, they shouldn't be alive. I'm arresting them all. What are you saying, these people should be dead or something? I am. There's no other way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this. Not for long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath, as he lifted his bat and began striding forward. Ugh, that's it. Lass, if you ever so much as touch the tip of a single villager's hair. Please calm yourself, Honglu. But Honglu stopped in between them. Get your bloody hands off me. I've had enough of her. Continuing to threaten her will only cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you know that yourself, Heathcliff. What do you suggest then? We're clearly not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor. What do you mean the people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean it literally. Even by some miracle that they do survive, they should be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitable of the calamity. But they look too healthy. The heck? Then shouldn't you be applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship? I'm an Inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians from Iberia straight to the gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise them a fair judgment, whichever that may be, after a proper investigation. So stop it with this obstruction of justice. Does she have I'd assume a rapier, right? Can I see the weapon, perchance? That might be the weapon. That also might just be her cloth. Does she have a gun? She has like a massive revolver. Oh yeah, she has bullets too. Holy shit. That thing is massive. And that's what, she's the size of Don Quixote holding that? Damn. The Inquisitor brandished her rapier. She does have a rapier. Oh yeah, actually I think you can see the handle right there. And then that must be the sheath. The Inquisitor branded their rapier threateningly, their voice shaking with frustration. Dante. Without the full picture of circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of a local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling that this isn't some kind of heartless Inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents, like Miss Mayers told us about earlier. That's strike two, Miss Mayers. I don't think she's anything like the Inquisitors of N-Corp we saw back at Cal? They were right. We don't have the full picture of circumstances getting in the way of an Inquisitor, who is clearly a rather significant political entity in the area. Was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the Inquisitor's job to answer your questions. Continue to obstruct me, then, as the standoff is showing no signs of ending. Miss Mayers? I can answer your questions, so, for now, let's do as the Inquisitor says. Mayers, who's been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village, suddenly stepped forward. Yet, what of thy grandfather and the villagers? It's alright. I'm sure this is happening only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you'll answer the questions? About the profound silence? The black site? Mayer's response to Otis was but a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but that's what they call the calamity that destroyed Iberia. What? Alright. This one's called Spinning Clock. so I think someone's about to die. Or Dante's about to get a sick new head feature. You. Decades ago, a great wave ravaged through Iberia. It wasn't long before the seaborns carried by the waves diminished Iberia's brilliant civilization to this. The waves, the profound silence must have reduced the village to its current state as well. Is there any reason it's called the profound silence? Doesn't seem the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like that. It's because the sea went dead silent before the waves came. The silence then claimed ships out at sea, then the cities of Iberia, then the Iberians. No one could say a word in the face of an ineffable calamity. What? Just what are you? So shit, they had like what? So they had like a tsunami. But since there's like evil ass sea monsters in the water, the tsunami brought them to land. Shit. So tsunamis are serious business in this world. Fucking get a tsunami, you're gonna have like the Kraken dropped on top of you. Just in the middle of your head fucking city. No average Iberian citizen should be privy to any information you're sharing. It seems like it was a pretty obvious event. Like, most of them might have died, but shit. I feel like someone has to know that it was just a tsunami. And the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing on the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be Ager from the sea, delude the citizenry of Iberia, and are showing chaos in her lands. So that's why they're arresting the Ager left and right. I can see the thought process, but... Huh? So it's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us then. Dante. This isn't good. Sharing that seems to have had kind of a taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. The Inquisitor wordlessly stares at Mayers. Her eyes were filled with traces of anger and confusion, but she's afraid. There was fear in the face of a threat. No, the fear of the terrified. No, it's the fear of someone who's suddenly confronted with something they must destroy. The High Inquisitor once told me that, should I come across an Ager who knows too much, there is a sliver of a chance that they may be of assistance to Iberia. Cease. Thou start threatening the innocents with thy brandishing of a firearm. She fucking pulled out the revolver immediately. Holy shit. But most are seduced by the allure of the sea. Thus they are, with little doubt, foes. I've got a bad feeling about this. Get out of my way, outsider. Final warning. Run! Quick on the uptake as always, Rhodia slung Mayers over her shoulder and ran past the villagers. Though the sinners scattered in all directions to distract the Inquisitor draws her firearm. Holy shit, kind of nice artwork. Right, the homeless people are just chilling about. So Don's about to 1v1 this chick. And, in the midst of all that action, Don Quixote rushed towards the Inquisitor without a moment's hesitation. Don Quixote? Thou shalt go no further. I, a fixer of justice, shan't abide by thou persecute them. Forsooth, 'tis a battle delayed, not avoided. The clash is inevitable. In that moment of crisis, seconds before this could irreparably make us a new enemy. Monster? Oh shit. That's the name of the giant rock monster, I believe. And judging from it says the name right there. Unless your names are swapped, which would be funny. A large obsidian crystallization in the shape of a monster burst forth between them. Who is it this time? That's enough endless bickering. Dr. Calcit. Do you know her? Yes, she's Dr. Calcit. Rhodes Island's medical department. Dr. Calcit, behind you. Shoot first, talk later, is it? The negotiations are over. From this moment onward, Rhodes Island is now operating within legal capacity on Iberian territory under the Inquisitor's gaze. The Inquisitor fired a blast from that firearm-looking weapon, but the monster summoned by Dr. Calcit managed to deflect it. and the cannonball thrown from the weapon punched clean through the building as we stayed the night in, before punching through several other buildings behind it. That was enough to instantly freeze the sinners and villagers on spot. Sorry, let me just read that again. A cannonball? Sorry, what? Huh? Okay, so that would have just fucking killed us. And somehow Monster deflected it. That penetrated a building. Oh yeah, that's like illegal in the city. Though their walls may be weaker than the head standard for what counts as a building exterior wall, to punch through so many is... What a precise point it makes. Now is not the time to stand around impressed. It is a violation of a taboo to have that much penetrative power in a firearm. We're not in the city. Don't lose your heads over this. Taboos don't apply here. You're the one in the Refraction Railway who cared a lot about the taboos, right? I think the cloning one. Sorry, like I was saying. Otis is the one who cared a lot about taboos in the cloning area. Which, I don't know. I guess that doesn't matter that much right now, does it? My head knows that to be true, yet my heart finds it difficult to be still. That is enough discussion for now. It is advisable that we be carefully observe and grasp the situation at hand, instead of deliberating on the taboo, the jurisdiction of which does not reach this far. Yeah, so the situation's gotten slightly better, right? If she's Omnia's friend, she's our ally. Besides, she's got some super powerful looking prosthetic gear looking thing too. Is that what you think? I apologize for the disappointment, but I'm not on anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination ally might not be entirely correct. However, if I must define my allegiance, then let me inform you with the closest label that I am Inquisitor Irene's ally. Dr. Calcit, Amia, outsiders. As much as you would like to deny it, the Inquisitor's suspicions are true. While it can be said that the process by which she reached that conclusion was unfair, the conclusion itself is, without a doubt, correct. So they're actually connected to the Church of the Deep? That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they aren't connected to the Church of the Deep. They are the Church of the Deep. Perhaps the village itself is a dilapidated church of their congregation. Our village? A church? Just look at the buildings. Where would we even congregate? Your thoughts, Faust? There are not many resources by which to analyze the decision. However, the fact that Amia's colleague has made the same argument as the Inquisitor brings the accused defense into question. Yet, I can hardly believe that young Mayers is lying to us. Hold on. You've been chatting plenty of things with that Inquisitor over there. How do we know you weren't aligned with them the whole time? I see. You really are all entirely in the dark. As expected outcome, given that all you may be from a place far beyond the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, there is no need for you to know it anyway. Truth is truth unchanging, without the acceptance of an errant group of outsiders. Besides, soon... I'm sorry. It seems that we mired you in trouble. Oh, say no such thing. We shall not abide by one such injustice as perpetrated before our eyes. The village has already been identified by the Inquisition, and the Inquisition has brought in even an ally. It seems quite unlikely that words shall resolve this conflict. But we promise you, we will take responsibility for what is done. We have benefited far too much from your warmth and kindness not to do so. Oh, nice. So what? Homeless people v. big-ass monster. The village chief, with a benevolent look, pulls a dagger from his cloth. And I immediately knew what Dr. Calcit was about to say. Oh. That's nice. Take responsibility. You don't have to go that far. Blimey. They killed Sinclair. We are now departing for the sea. We cannot bring ourselves to leave you here. I must ask that you join us for this journey. Become our bloodkin. Oh, are you turning us into fucking Seaborns? Did you just give me like a... Oh, I'm not gonna say that. They gave me a disease. What the fuck? What are you doing? Stop. The unanticipated, or perhaps I was simply in denial about the rising dread, anguish, did not end there. Oh. Damn it. The Inquisitor was right. Results just fucking chilling. The villagers suddenly began shanking the sinners with weapons. Guys, come on. I'm sure only one sneak attack can go through before you realize you're being ambushed. And it seems that they were coming for me as well. Amia, on your left. Amia materials a black ribbon-like apparition. Ooh. Parrying away the dagger flying in my direction. A black ribbon-like apparition. Is that because you have that one fucking disease? The crystallization? You can't see it. Her eyes did become all evil and shit. Oh, she has like pink in the middle too. Is that normal? But another villager rushed in, taking advantage of the opening. The charging villager made a visceral crunching noise. No, she does have pink. She just became all evil and shit. So someone flung them away. Didn't mean to be this late. Scadia, let me catch you up to speed. I know the situation. The fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. But what about the sinners? Unlike Amia and I, who managed to survive the initial ambush, the sinners weren't doing so well. At least we had a silver lining in that the Inquisitor and Calcit quick understanding of the situation, and the subsequent retaliation led the villagers away from the sinners. How? I didn't notice any hostility or aggression. What an odd thing to say. Why would we hold any animosity against you? Why would we intend to kill you? We were not trying to hurt you. We're simply giving you a form better suited for the sea. Ooh. Doing like the whole Angela thing. Until we were obstructed. I apologize, for our unfamiliarity has caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big stink about what happened. What's truly unforgivable is the heretics tried to take advantage of the ignorance of outsiders to flee the Inquisition. And even if you are outsiders, any lives lost on Iberian soil are my responsibility. I'm sorry it came to this. Wait, life's lost. We're still alive, you know. We can shake off a stab wound like, oh yeah. I guess she never saw us revive, because we haven't done a battle yet. This is most unfortunate, outsider. What? Your friends are either going to die or become Seaborns. The daggers that stabbed them were laced with flesh of sea terror. Okay, yeah, they did just fucking shank me with a disease knife. Once that happens, most die and the survivors become overwritten by their cells, becoming nothing more than another sea monster. What? That's not a very big deal. Everyone was acting like this was it for the sinners, but hey, I should be able to deal with this by turning the clock. It's not that bad. My only concern was that I didn't know what would fully happen if I tried to bring them back after they fully transformed into Seaborn. The golden bough helped deal with the whale's palidification effects, but I had no idea how it would interact with Seaborn. We should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but for... What? Sorry to bother you with this, but can you kill my friends? And preferably in the least painful way, you know? Oh, sorry. Was that last part kind of too much to ask? Well, wait. Don't give up already. If we bring them back to Rhodes Island, we should be able to do something to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you... Dante, I know what you mean, but I just can't right now. My strength has rapidly deteriorated since the ambush. It's kind of tingly, too. Maybe they had some kind of paralytic cocktail? Maybe a person who's alive should explain it. Put a sign. Just trust me on this one. I can assure you that I'm not giving up on them. But... Oh, Mia, can you understand the outsider's speech? Yes, it's just that they're making a pretty difficult request. They wanted me to kill all their friends before they transform into Seaborns. Okay. And before we knew it, Scotty had already decapitated the sinners, none of whom resisted. Mia seemed to be taken aback to how fast Scotty jumped into action. What are you doing? Scotty? Don't let this spook you. This is just how we roll. The clock turns. The decapitated heads roll towards their headless torsos, connecting with a thread of blood. The sensation is that of a reversal. It feels as though the sinners and I have severed from the rest of the world, rewinding in isolation. Is this rewinding us going back in time, or are we defying the concept itself? The pain is multifold worse than the sensation of a straightforward decapitation. The pain is in the heart. As the current of death reverses, I sense a deep, crushing isolation. The pain is multifold worse than the sensation of a straightforward decapitation. The pain is in the heart. As the current of death reverses, a deep, crushing isolation. Well, that's obvious because I guess the Seaborn fucking cells. That's interesting. I don't know what that could mean. I guess the Seaborns are isolated? I don't know. Resurrection. Metempsychosis? Or time reversal? Puzzling. I have no knowledge of which to interpret this technology. The cost seems to be the pain is transferred to the one who rewinds. But that seems too small a price for such a great power, though the discussion of whether this can be categorized as a power should be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All my limbs were trembling from that icy solitude. Still, I took a moment to collect myself and ordered the sinners. I don't know what they were thinking, but... Don Quixote's fucking... Oops, whoops. They're aura farming. What are we doing, guys? Why are we aura farming on homeless people? Goddamn, Dawn's eye is glowing too. She has such a banger look. And fucking Dante just holding his head. We should be able to find out once we take him down. You dared deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Prepare thyself, for thou shalt now pay the price for making a mockery of justice. Yeah, we can't just let this slide, you know. How unfortunate. I had high hopes that you would all become fine bloodkin. Okay. So we're fighting this homeless guy. Cool. Let me actually look what you guys do. Are you all the same? Swift, 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 steadfast. I'm gonna make the assumption I don't care. Sinking count and bind. Final power for every 6 sinking. Coin power for every bind. Holy shit. This music is kind of goated. 2 count, 3... Yeah. Inflict gloom damage equal to nervous impairment. Oh my god, it's the fucking... It's that one enemy from the fucking lake, but the opposite. Oh no, actually, I guess it's more of the from the Christmas event, the gnomes. But they actually do heal SP. Oh, that's gonna blow. If this unit did not take damage, gain 2 haste. Deal... Okay, you're also Mao. On hit with unopposed attack, inflict nervous impairment. And you just panic. United Will. Combat start, apply 2 haste to the allied cultist. So you buff. And then 2 attack speed, yeah. Rite of Liberation. Final power, coin power, sinking. Nothing too crazy. If this unit has remaining spill, shield. 4 power up next turn might be spooky. Gain 1 stack at turn end. Gain offense level down and instead of offense level down and defense down, gain offense up and okay, yeah. If an allied center has 5, escapes the battle. If an allied center has a defense skill equipped, they escape battlefield at combat start. Okay. You'll inflict 2 sinking if you have shield, and then panic. More damage per impairment. Cool. Call of Bloodkin. Consumes 3% HP to gain 1 attack power-up. It's like the crown thing. And 1 fragile to all allies. Gain 1 fragile and apply 1 attack power-up and 1 fragile to all allies. Oh no, you apply attack power-up and fragile to all allies. Oh, so at this you gain fragile too. That's cool. Well, this is going to be an interesting fight. Okay, and then... Do I know your resistances? I do. Gloom. Well, if that can get rid of... I'd have to do 100 damage in 1 turn. That's not happening. Who is getting hit the most? You're getting hit by a skill 3. You're also dominating. Holy shit. Oh, I should have checked if there were ads. Like extras in the back. Because I kind of want to just kill the weaker homeless people first. Well, it's going pretty steady so far. Not a single crash loss. Which is kind of crazy. Well, I guess it's about to get a lot worse. Because they're about to have, like, what, 30 sanity per? Whew. Well, that's 1 staggered. Yeah, 33. Yikes. Oh, you don't have 4. You only have... That's odd. You were using 2 defense skills. I hope that win, but... Really? Shit. I don't know, I wasn't... Please? Okay, those are... That was mainly the only one I cared about. Of course I want everyone else to win, but... You know. I mean, 3 wins, I'll take it. You're my tank, so... You can get hit. Right, this is going great. For them having a ton of sanity, this is going a lot better than I thought it would. Okay, we didn't kill you, which sucks. I'm gonna do that so I can get my blood feast or whatever it's called. Hard blood? Hard blood. You're favored, so you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna kill whoever has the least HP. 102, 100. Oh shit, I got whistles going too. Amazing. Ooh, time to see this sick looking egal. Alright, Now I just gotta wait 4 turns, and I can see the rest of it. Sure hope the fight doesn't end before that, you know. Shit, sorry. I did too much damage. Oh man, that was, I don't know, pretty easy. Wait, I think they're heading to... He's running himself into a dead end. Are they seeking refuge at sea? Wait, that's where the ship is. That's where they're headed. We're trying to board the vessel Massus. Wait, but we never told them the ship was repaired, so how... Ain't it obvious? Whole village was in on it. It ain't a surprise that they'd set nothing but a spy on us. Or that they knew to get a ship floating even in its broken state. Vessel Massus? Vessel Rebellion de las Massus. Their ship is moored at the port in that direction. Wait, it can't be. Green, who was preoccupied with battling the rest of the followers of the Church of the Deep, who were in the hiding, quickly gave chase. But Fabius and the villagers already board the repaired vessel ship, slowly departing near the harbor, with a horde of sea terrors between us and them. How can a vessel of that size become operational this fast? The exterior, the name, must have been constructed during the golden age of Iberia. But how are we supposed to chase that? What if we built a raft and rowed after him? Mate, come on. Sea's full of terrors. It won't get very far before it sinks. Do you see anything, Hamia? You keep looking in that direction. Oh. The vessel Massus soon disappeared into the mist, and the village was left empty with nary a sign of people having ever been there, as though this gateway had all been premeditated. Getaway. Leaving only mares. Oh, hey mares. See, you want to explain what you're doing in a village filled with, crazy Seaborn follower people? Thanks. Okay. Well, that's going to be where the episode ends for now, since it's already been an hour. Pretty much these Limbus videos are going to be going on for longer than 30 minutes. Sadly, that's just how it goes, since, I don't know, it's a lot of reading, which kind of forces me to... Shush-y-sang. Which kind of forces me to, you know, go with the flow and such. But, I hope you all enjoyed it. I sure as hell did, and I'll be back to record more. Well, I'll be back to record more probably tomorrow, but you won't see the uploads until, you know, a few days from now. But yeah, actually, maybe not even until the end of the month. Sure. Anyways, that's going to be it for now. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.